Our top story of the evening, convicted of child sex crimes to walking free with the state paying for damages. Now back in prison, the case of Michael Daniel Bowman caused a roller coaster of emotion for everyone, from the victims to the attorneys. Thank you for joining us for 7 News at 6. I'm Steve Moore.
And I'm Catherine Guyon. 7 News anchor Stephanie Grindley has been following this case since one circuit court judge made a chain-breaking ruling in April. And now she joins us with what prosecutors hope is the final verdict. Stephanie.
Who is in the wrong? In Marshall County, a man convicted and serving a near-life sentence for child sex crimes, Michael Daniel Bowman, was released back in April with prejudice, which means he could never be brought back and prosecuted again. But just last night, the West Virginia Supreme Court said not so fast and overturned the Marshall County Circuit Court's ruling on Bowman's case.
The prosecutor did not instruct the grand jury as to what the law was.
That was Judge David Hummel Jr., who felt compelled to release Bowman after he said acting prosecuting attorney in 2016, Rhonda Wade, did not properly prep the grand jury.
To sit back and have your professional reputation impunged is not easy. More difficult than that was us having to call the victims and tell them that Mr. Bowman had been released from prison.
7 months went by, Bowman a free man, until an appeal led by the West Virginia Attorney General's office reached the eyes of the West Virginia Supreme Court and raised an eyebrow in Judge Hummel's ruling. They found nothing was done improperly at the grand jury level. A writ of prohibition was filed before the Supreme Court, basically stopping the circuit court from enforcing Hummel's decision. And also, absent of showing intentional fraud, the circuit court cannot look behind an indictment.
So basically what the circuit court did, they did not have the authority to do.
Canistrero is the acting attorney who, when Judge Hummel's gavel came down, said,
I can tell you that that is not the practice of my office, not to give legal instructions on the law.
But now, do we still admit to that? Is that
no?
Okay.
No. If you look at the Supreme Court's opinion that was released, they found no wrongdoing on the part of Miss Wade. Said there was basically, they said there was no prosecutorial misconduct.
I don't think that we ever misstepped, and I never thought that, but again, sometimes you have to sit back and let the system work its way out.
And for Michael Daniel Bowman, he was sentenced originally 28 to 70 years in prison.
And basically reinstated the convictions against Michael Bowman.
What feels maybe like deja vu, the prosecutors called the victims and told the two girls who sat in that courtroom many years ago and painfully retold their abuse that the man who did it is behind bars again.
It was a hard case back then, so like Miss Wade, I'm very happy to see that justice is still being served and he's back where, he belongs.
Judge Hummel Jr. said this ruling opened Pandora's box for other cases that reached verdicts in Wade's term, but Canistrero says the Supreme Court's posture in Bowman's case just closed that box for good and saved him a lot of unnecessary work. In the 7 Newsroom, I'm Stephanie Grindley, working for you.
Thank you.